We are still keeping you weather alert tonight, although it sounds like it'll be much calmer than it was yesterday.
Oh, got an interesting shot, Brad, behind you.
Yeah, we've got this one lone downpour that has enveloped the Dallas camera. We're looking north, so you can see it is absolutely pouring. I'm going to show you where that shower is. It's that little tiny shower right there that's moving through right over our camera. We do have some flash flood warnings out to the east, but unlike last night, these are actually moving. Now, they're producing some heavy rain. There's that shower right over Dallas. It's going to move out fairly quickly. So these aren't lasting long. So the flash flood risk is minimal because of that movement. But where it's been a big problem is because we've seen training, not just one storm. It's been several over and over again, has caused some flash flood warnings for parts of the sandhills. So these have been extended just because the runoff is still ongoing out there. And we have additional showers moving in there. That's the thing about these flood warnings. Once you see wet weather in one area, if you get more, even lighter rain, you could cause additional flooding. So the area we'll be watching this evening, this part of Mecklenburg County, this is the area that saw anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain last night. So if we see additional showers, even light ones, could cause some quick rises, especially in those creeks and streams, which have gone down. I mean, that's the thing about flash flooding. As flashy as these creeks are, which means they jump really high, they also fall back very quickly once the rain goes down. We got a little bit of a lull, but there are hints that maybe around 10 or 11, we could see another cluster of showers develop. And I'll show you a futurecast showing that cluster trying to develop roughly right there around 10 o'clock. So if that moves over the same areas, we could have problems. So that's why we'll stay alert just in case. But all in all, much calmer night tonight than last night. And the nature of these storms, they're isolated. It's not going to rain everywhere. There's not going to be widespread flooding. It's going to be localized. Even within Mecklenburg County, some areas saw almost no rain last night, and other areas saw 5 inches of rain within a very short distance. Now, that time frame for the heavy rain could redevelop between 9 o'clock and let's say 11 o'clock. We've got more of a south and southwest flow tonight, so the storms are actually moving, unlike last night, which they just kind of camped out over areas. So the movement will help, but they still are very efficient rainfall makers because of how saturated the air is. Dew points are in the low to mid 70s, so the atmosphere, not only from the ground, but all the way to the top, is pretty full of water. So we call that precipitable water. We're going to wring that out with any of these showers and storms, and that precipitable water is tropical in nature. It's about as moist as you're going to see this time of year. And so when you get a shower or storm, you're going to tap into that and really dump water very quickly. Big fat raindrops happening at a very heavy rate. In fact, 2 to 4 inches of rain per hour, some of the rainfall rates we've seen in these cells. And next week, that rain will stick around with the scattered showers, but late in the week, we'll see drier weather. So flooding's our number one concern, followed by lightning and maybe a minimal wind risk. It's really not severe. It's flooding that is our concern. So tonight, low to mid 70s, a pretty soupy atmosphere tomorrow. Could lead to more of these pop-up storms, though I do think they'll be more isolated this weekend. You just can't rule out one of these becoming a flash flood event. You see during the day tomorrow, we start dry. Any sunshine, we could heat up close to 90. That would drive more storms to develop in the afternoon. And other storms produce outflow boundaries, which help produce more storms. So these kind of things kind of have a positive feedback loop here. And we'll see more of these on Sunday. But for Father's Day, if you got outdoor plans in the afternoon, that's the time frame you're going to have a rain plan just in case. Now the totals, they're going to fluctuate. Localized areas, this is just gives you an example. Some spots could see 2-3 inches of rain. Other areas, less than 1/10 of an inch. That's the nature of these scattered storms. But they're going to stick around every single day through the beginning of next week. So the weekend forecast, hour by hour, both days, pop-up afternoon storms, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. 7-day forecast. Next week, it's really toasty. Temperatures push in the low 90s, maybe even mid 90s as we look ahead to the 10-day forecast. Once we hit 90, we might be hovering around that temperature for quite some time.
Maybe a little too long. Yeah. Thank you, Brad. All right, folks, don't forget that you get that WCNC Charlotte mobile app installed onto your phone. Get the weather alerts turned on as well so you are notified when storms move into your area. It is free to download in your app store.